This is why you never prank call the police.
Get on the ground!
Get on the ground!
Oh, wait, bring this one back here.
The young man is accused of calling 911 for a police prank. Tonight, though, police are not laughing.
Popular YouTuber's antics took a serious turn when a seemingly harmless prank led to his arrest by the Coral Springs police. It all began with a video titled "Coke Prank on Aggressive Cops," uploaded to his social media platform on January 27th. In this nearly 20-minute video, 21-year-old Jason Said, known as King Sid to his 2 million YouTube followers, orchestrated a fake 911 call from his flashy orange Mercedes-Benz. In the video, Jason is seen seated in the driver's seat, instructing an individual on the other end of the line on what to say to the 911 dispatcher. Little did the Coral Springs police know, the entire 911 call was captured by cameras installed in Jason's car. The call, made from a gas station off University Drive, reported weird, suspicious activities involving a man dressed in all black, seated in a brightly colored Mercedes-Benz SUV, a setup that the police later discovered was Jason himself. The staged interaction between Jason and the responding officer was part of the prank, designed to showcase what Jason perceived as excessive police aggression. In a scripted exchange, Jason feigned innocence while his passenger hinted at illicit substances in the car, alluding to a trunk filled with contraband. Without the officers knowing, the entire ordeal was meticulously recorded from multiple angles. Coral Springs Police Chief Said Perry later addressed the incident, condemning Jason's actions as an irresponsible portrayal of law enforcement encounters. Despite Jason's intentions to shed light on what he viewed as overzealous policing, his prank backfired when officers discovered the car's cargo consisted solely of cans of Coke. The video also showed the interaction between the suspect and an officer. "Hello, I'm calling because I see weird, suspicious activities at a gas station," the prankster said. The caller, who police said was in on the prank, reported a man wearing all black sitting in a bright orange Mercedes-Benz SUV. That man, investigators said, was Sid. The video also showed the interaction between the suspect and an officer. "How are you doing, officer? Is there a problem?" said Sid. "I don't know." "Is there a problem?" said the officer. "What's going on, officer?" said a man sitting in the passenger seat. What officers didn't realize, at least not at first, was that the whole thing was fake, and they were being recorded on multiple cameras in multiple locations. Coral Springs Police Chief Said Perry put out a video about the incident. Jason Sid did this in the hopes of showing how overly aggressive police officers are when they respond to these calls. He said, during the lengthy back and forth between Sid and the officer, the man in the passenger seat alluded to drugs in the trunk, which is a part of the prank. "We got stuff in the car, man," said the passenger. After the exchange, Sid and the passenger were handcuffed and taken into custody for misuse of 911. His brief stint in custody ended after posting a $2,500 bond. The episode served as a cautionary tale, illustrating the potential consequences of blurring the lines between entertainment and criminality in the digital age. Ahmed Al-Menhali, a businessman from the United Arab Emirates, was in the United States for medical treatment when something shocking happened. Police body camera footage captured the moment when officers approached him outside a hotel in Avon, Ohio, with guns drawn, causing him to collapse and then handcuffing him. This dramatic incident unfolded in response to a false report claiming that Al-Menhali, dressed in traditional Arabian attire called a thobe, had pledged allegiance to ISIS during a phone call from the lobby of the Fairfield Inn and Suites. The situation quickly escalated, drawing international attention. The Avon Police Department received a 911 call on June 29th, around 5:53 p.m. A woman, claiming to speak on behalf of her sister, a hotel desk clerk, reported a man in the lobby wearing traditional clothing and using multiple phones to pledge allegiance to ISIS. Simultaneously, another call came from the desk worker's father, expressing concern for his daughter's safety. He stated that she was frightened and hiding in the back of the hotel. Officers arrived promptly at 5:57 p.m. and found Al-Menhali outside the hotel entrance, talking on his cell phone. Initially cooperative, Al-Menhali assumed the officers were there to assist him, thinking something might be wrong inside the hotel. However, as they drew nearer, He noticed their aggressive demeanor and realized he was the target of their actions. Through a translator, Al-Minhali described the shock and confusion he felt as the situation unfolded. The clerk got one thing right. Al-Minhali did have 2 phones. He was using them to find a place to stay in Cleveland. According to Julia Shearson, the executive director of KIR Cleveland, Al-Minhali had been renting an apartment in Lakewood, but his landlord needed it for the Republican National Convention week. So, he went to the nearby Fairfield Inn for recommendations on extended stay hotels. While he waited in the lobby, police arrived, but Al-Minhali's behavior wasn't odd. It was the lack of understanding from the clerk's side, according to Shearson. As officers approached, they had their guns drawn, as per the police report. One officer was even carrying an assault rifle. They yelled orders at Al-Minhali to get down and drop his phone. Al-Minhali obeyed, sinking to his knees. While they cuffed him and checked his wallet, other officers talked to the desk clerk and found out Al-Minhali had said nothing about ISIS. It was clear to the officers that there was a misunderstanding between the desk clerk and her relatives. After a few moments, Al-Minhali collapsed. Paramedics, who were initially called for the desk clerk's panic attack, tended to him. Later, he was taken to the hospital, where he stayed until Saturday due to a minor stroke. As per his translator Ahmed Ali, the UAE's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation asked AVEN officials to say sorry and advised people not to wear their national dress when going to the United States. In a meeting organized by the Council on American-Islamic Relations in Cleveland, AVEN's mayor and police chief apologized to Al-Minhali on Saturday. Mayor Brian K. Jensen said sorry, mentioning that the officers were just doing what they thought was right based on the information they had at that time. Al-Minhali, though thankful for the apology, still wants those who made the 911 call to be held responsible. He also hopes this incident will be a lesson for the police on how to handle situations involving different cultures. A TSA official admitted to being told to unfairly target Somali Americans. A translator, speaking on behalf of Ahmed, said he's glad for the apology, but still has many questions about why it happened. A Marriott International spokesperson, in charge of Fairfield Inn and Suites, felt sorry about what happened and said they're teaming up with AVEN hotel staff to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. "We're really sorry about what Mr. Al-Minhali went through," said Jeff Flaherty, who handles crisis communications and corporate matters at Marriott. "Being inclusive and accepting of diversity is a key part of how Marriott operates, and we're dedicated to making sure everyone feels welcome. We've been talking with the hotel since the incident, and we're going to work on training that focuses on diversity and inclusion to avoid similar situations in the future." Despite what happened, Al-Minhali still holds America dear, his interpreter shared. He wants to be a helpful member of the community during his stay, whether he's American or not. The whole incident was recorded by police body cameras. Afterward, Minhali took legal action against the hotel and 2 employees, accusing them of unfairly targeting him because of his race. The case was going to be taken to court, but before that could happen, Minhali's lawyers reached an agreement on his behalf. This settlement marked a big win, bringing some peace to Minhali and his family after what they went through. It's a reminder of how ignorance and intolerance can still be a problem in our society today. Meet Tiara Simone Everett, an 18-year-old from Macon, Georgia, who found herself in a bit of trouble after pulling off a prank 911 call. Here's what went down. It was Friday, April 7th, 2023. Around 4:24 p.m., Tiara dialed 911, reporting a disturbing scene at a McDonald's on 4472 Akmalji East Boulevard. She claimed there was an angry man in the restaurant's lobby, waving a gun because his order was wrong. Shockingly, she said he was holding 5 people, including kids, hostage and threatening harm to anyone who made a sound. Tiara herself claimed to be hiding in the restroom during this alleged chaos. But when deputies rushed to the scene, they found everything peaceful and normal. No gun-wielding maniac, no hostages, nothing. The restaurant staff confirmed there hadn't been any trouble. Tiara vehemently denied any involvement in the prank call or even having her phone on her during the incident. She insisted that someone else must have taken her phone while she briefly stepped away to use the bathroom. Tiara claimed she was completely unaware of the call until authorities arrived. However, when CCTV footage was reviewed, it became evident that her story didn't hold up. Upon investigation, deputies uncovered that Tiara had made up the whole story. Consequently, she faced charges for falsely reporting a crime and misusing the emergency 911 service. Without delay, she was taken into custody and transported to the Bibb County Law Enforcement Center. Now, facing serious consequences, Tiara finds herself in a precarious situation. With the evidence stacked against her, she is confronted with the possibility of spending up to 2 years behind bars. Additionally, the financial burden of over $1,500 in charges looms over her head, further compounding her predicament. As the legal proceedings unfold, Tiara is left grappling with the repercussions of her actions and the uncertain future that lies ahead.